Hey, what's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm actually going to tell the story of how this channel came into being. I'm going to go all the way back to how I grew up here in northern Wisconsin, kind of go through the steps of how Hooked Up Wisconsin actually became a business, and then kind of the progression of the YouTube channel until now, where I'm able to literally live my dream of being in the fishing industry full time. And make sure you stick around to the end, because I'm also going to show you guys a bunch of really good bloopers that you haven't seen on the channel yet from a bunch of different videos. Also, I am fishing right now, so I got a couple bobbers out. We may catch a fish or two in the meantime, but my main goal is to tell the story of Hooked Up Wisconsin. So let's start that story right now. Let's go back to Spooner, Wisconsin, 1986. So yes, I was born in 1986 in Spooner, Wisconsin, near Hayward, Wisconsin, about an hour south of Duluth, Minnesota, right at the tip of Lake Superior. And I grew up in vacation land. This is like the place everybody from the Twin Cities and Chicago goes to vacation. Thousands of lakes, tons of public land, low population, and basically our biggest industry here is tourism. And I grew up with a great family. You could not ask for a better family. My parents and my one sister. And I grew up actually homeschooling. So I was homeschooled all the way through high school. I actually went to school one day for algebra because my mom wasn't sure if she could teach me algebra, and I hated it so much. I just said, you know what, Mom, I will teach myself algebra because I did not want to do it. Did not want to be at school. Like being homeschooled, I had the freedom to get my school done as quickly as I could and get out in the woods and get out on the water and be fishing and hunting. And I didn't have to waste all that time on the bus and waiting for classes to start. So it was a great life. And we lived on, a growing property. We started out with 40 acres and we ended up owning about 180 acres, which my parents still own today. And I had the run of the property. So we had a pond and a beaver pond and a creek that ran right through the middle of it. And I used to go down there when I was really young and catch minnows. We had shiners in there and chubs, and I would go down there with a little piece of worm, and I would be down there for hours catching minnows. Eventually that pond actually got fish in it. They kind of came up the creek and we ended up catching largemouth bass, pike, perch, a bunch of crappies. And that was literally out my back door. Nobody else fished it. Like that was our own little spot there. We had great hunting land, shot a lot of nice bucks back there. We duck hunted, we goose hunted back there on the pond. I mean, it was the life growing up. And I knew from an early age that fishing was going to be something that I did as much as possible. I mean, as soon as I could hold a fishing rod, I was into it. And we grew up living off the land to some degree. Hunting and fishing was just a way of life for us. I mean, we did not buy meat from the store almost ever. We pretty much ate venison, we ate bear, we ate elk, we ate fish that we caught. I mean, we never bought fish from the store. I can't remember ever buying fish from the store. And that was just a way of life, and it still is for me. It's a lifestyle. It's not really a hobby to me, hunting and fishing. It's just how I live. Now, I come from a very hardworking family. My dad owned his own refrigeration business, and he worked his butt off, especially in the summertime. That's when refrigeration tends to fail, is in the summer. So we actually did very little open water fishing. We did a lot of ice fishing because it was much slower for him. So we would hunt the fall and ice fish. Spring comes around, he'd get really busy. So I was kind of on my own when it comes to open water, but we ice fished and hunted a lot together, and that was awesome. You know, as I grew up, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do for a career. I didn't really have a direction. I didn't really want to go to college, but that was what everyone was telling you should do back then. So through high school, I had a few jobs at a cranberry marsh. I worked at a grocery store, kind of those high school type jobs, summertime jobs. And I didn't really want to go to school right after high school. I wanted to take a year off. I did apply for a college for land surveying, and that was kind of the degree I was going to go for, but I didn't want to go right away. In the meantime, I had basically started working for a plumber. I got into a plumbing apprenticeship, and I quickly realized, wait a minute, I can actually go to work, make money the whole time, and come out with a trade that's going to pay probably better than 90% of the degrees that I could earn at college, and then have huge student loans to pay off. I think I'll stick with the trade. So that's what I ended up doing. I ended up sticking with plumbing, and I've been a plumber for over 20 years. So I started my plumbing career basically right out of high school, or the last year of high school. And in high school, I had already picked up a couple of other skills. I was playing piano and organ and keyboards, and I was really into music. Music was a huge part of my life. In fact, I still play to this day. I play for our church and for some events and stuff like that. And that was a blast to just, we had a band, you know, in high school, and we'd play weddings and stuff, and really, really fun. And I was very into that. I also got into taxidermy in high school, and I just wanted to do birds and fish, and that's kind of what I stuck with. I did a few deer, but birds and fish were my interest, and I ended up starting a business there, and I did mounts for clients for about 5 years. And if you've seen any of the taxidermy in my videos, that's all stuff I've done myself. So if you've seen it kind of behind me, those are all my mounts, and really enjoyed it. Certainly thought about that as a career path for a while, but I realized it's a pretty tough way to make a living, and I really wanted to be in the actual fishing industry at that point someday. That was my goal. So after high school, basically right after high school, I started dating my wife, and we never dated anybody else. We just kind of met in youth group at church, and we just kind of knew we were meant to be, and we got married in 2008. And she is an amazing person. She has been supportive of everything I've done. You could not ask for a better partner in life, and she has been a hard worker as well. She's very accomplished in her career. She was a dental hygienist for quite a few years, and now she's a pastor at our church. She's an associate pastor there, and that's her kind of new career path. So great person, and we have a couple kids. We've got Jackson, he's 12, and Selah is 4, and they're amazing kids as well. So like all this stuff is just kind of crazy how my life has gone so well. I'm definitely have it better than I deserve. I mean, great family growing up, great family now. So it was sometime in like 2017, 18, right before COVID, my wife actually kind of recommended that I start an Instagram page. And Instagram was nothing I was interested in at the time. I had no interest in social media. I was barely on Facebook, and I didn't care much about it. But eventually I started posting some pictures, started Hooked Up Wisconsin, the Instagram account. I started getting followers, and people were interested in the photos, and I was always fairly artistic, so I was able to take some good shots and make them interesting. And I started captioning, you know, some fishing tips and stuff like that, and that page really started to take off. I started to get sponsors contacting me, you know, asking if I could use their stuff, and the light bulb kind of went off at that moment. I was like, okay, media might be an option. I might be able to get into the fishing industry somehow through media. And long story short, that basically turned into people telling me, well, you should start a YouTube channel. You should start a YouTube channel. And I was like, I am not an online kind of person. I am not an on-camera kind of person. That is not me. But I reluctantly, again, decided to go ahead and try it. Oh, I think I got a bobber down. I'll get back to that in a second. All right, guys, finally got a bite here. Fish on. Fish on. What do we have here? Kind of head shaking like a walleye. And not a bad one either. Not a bad one. Oh yeah. I don't think I want to boat flip this one. I think I'm going to get the net. Ha! There we go, guys. Nice little mid-video walleye. I figured we'd probably get one here. They've been kind of crawling all over this point. And that ain't a bad one at all. That might be going home with me for a little dinner party at my house. So I'm going to put him in the live well, and we'll get back to it. All right, so as I was saying, I was reluctant to be on camera. It wasn't my thing, but I did decide to try it. And I made one video with my buddy Chris, who you've seen in a few videos. Did a burbot video up on Lake Superior, and people really liked it. And I said, okay, well, I'll try this for a year. If I can get the channel monetized in a year, it's probably worth it. I'll keep going. And that's exactly what happened. Basically, to the day almost, a year later, the channel got monetized. And from there, I basically started treating it more like a business. So Hooked Up Wisconsin became a business, and from the very start, I knew it was going to be a business. That was my goal. I did not want to just film myself fishing. I wanted to provide value that people would want to see and learn from. And that was really my goal with this whole thing. Was I just loved fishing so much. I wanted to teach people how to fish. I wanted to teach people how I caught fish. And I had had a lot of experience fishing up until that point. And you know, I knew I was at a point where I could help some people out. So that's really kind of what I tried to do on the channel. And this is still what I try to do on the channel. I certainly do film some fishing, just fishing videos, but as you guys know, I really focus on the education and the how-to of even the most mundane things. There's so many details to fishing, and that's kind of what I've been focusing on more and more as this channel has grown. And that's really what's grown the channel, is those type of videos. So basically, as the channel progressed, I started to realize that this was viable as a full-time income. And the only way I was going to do that and get to that point was going to be to break off from being an employee and start my own business. And so I started my own service plumbing company in 2023 from scratch, and that went insanely well. Like so stinking well. I can't even describe what a blessing that was, and just to learn how to do all those steps and just have such success the first year. And that really gave me a stepping off point for starting the channel. So about a year and a half after I started that business, I decided now's the time. Back in April of this year, 2025 here, I decided to pull the plug, park the van, and go full-time on YouTube. I could just see the numbers lining up. I had the right sponsors. I had their YouTube revenue coming in, and it had been pretty steady for a while. And I knew if I could put everything into the channel that I was going to be able to make it work. And you know, there's been a few wrenches thrown in there, like snapping my Achilles tendon earlier this summer was certainly one of those. But you know, that's actually been a blessing in disguise. I got a lot done during that time that I wouldn't have probably done if I hadn't had the downtime. And in fact, I built HookedUpWisconsin.com, which I've been selling some relevant sunglasses on there, and I also do some fishing coaching. So if you guys want to talk about any fishing situation, like upcoming ice, gear stuff, electronics, any of that, I do fishing coaching sessions on HookedUpWisconsin.com. You can book one right there, and we can chat for an hour about whatever you want, as long as it's fishing related, and maybe even some stuff that's not. So those have been going really well. And I do have a line of merchandise coming, so I'm going to tease that right now. November, we are going to be launching some Hooked Up Wisconsin gear, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be really, really fun. So yeah, and some of the sponsors along the way have been just awesome too. I wanted to mention some of the sponsors. Euro Tackle was a huge one for me. They saw my Instagram stuff a long time ago, and I've been working with Ben at Euro Tackle and Blake for a long time. Great company, great stuff. Clam Outdoors is another one. I forgot to mention along the way here, my buddy Weldon and I invented the Clam Predator tip-up. That was about 4 years ago. And oh, there's so much to tell. I'm going back a little bit here, but 2017, I had attended an event called the Fishing Careers Workshop put on by Al Lindner and Lindner Media. And basically, it was what lit the fire in me too. I knew at that point that fishing career was going to be in my future. And just after that, I ended up getting to fish with Al Lindner, and we kind of became friends. And we had brought this invention idea to Al that my buddy and I had been working on, and that's what became the Predator tip-up. He set up the meeting with Clam for us, and it all worked out from there. And I can't thank Al Lindner enough and Lindner Media, because they have really, really helped me get to where I'm at. Al's an absolute legend. Lindner Media is legendary. And I really am fortunate to have been able to kind of ride their coattails a little bit in the industry, and I certainly don't take that for granted. So anyways, Predator Tip-Up came out. That's selling. Still selling. Big news in Minnesota. It's legal there now for the automatic hook setting, so they're going to sell a bunch more. It's been a huge success. Love fishing with it. That was one of my favorite things about inventing that thing, was we actually get to fish with it. That's another part of the fishing industry that I'm involved in. So really, that's about it, guys. That's kind of the story of how this all came to be. And this is my first year being full-time at this, and it's going really, really well. I've had a great time doing this for a living, and I really don't take for granted your support and the fact that you guys watch these videos and enjoy them and get something out of them. That is the only reason I'm able to do this. And thank you guys so much for supporting the channel, for buying stuff through those associate links that I post. That also helps. And the biggest thing you guys can do if you haven't yet is subscribe to the channel. That is a huge help. I know a lot of people watch this channel that aren't subscribed yet. If you guys could just go hit that subscribe button before you leave today, that would be awesome. And that would help so much. Just helps sponsors see how many people are watching. It helps, just helps the channel grow. And I would really appreciate that, guys. So now, as I mentioned, I'm going to show some blooper reels here. There's some really funny stuff that's happened that I just haven't got into my videos. So I'm going to roll that now, and we'll see you guys later. Get hooked up. Well, good morning, guys. We are, wow. Let me try that again. In this video, first I'm going to show you how we caught our walleyes today, and then I'm going to show you how to make an awesome grilled cheese melt that will absolutely be awesome. Let's see, grilled cheese walleye. What am I calling this? A grilled cheese walleye sandwich.
Creative name.
Our retrieve number 4 is snap jigging. There we go. Absolutely beautiful fish there. There we go. If this fit. Oh. And we're going fishing today, and we got talking before it's a very interesting kind of cross. What was the word I used? It was a good word too. What did I call it? Cross something.
Crossover?
Crossover, thank you. Oh, yep, sturgeon. It's a sturgeon. She just jumped. There we go. All right, guys, that is one of the bigger sturgeon I've caught.
Holy cow. Cold fingers on the first day of fall here. Come on, Kyle. You can do it. There we go. Look at that.
Look what we just picked up. We just saw this Beach Bollicus luminesci.
If it's a tributary to Lake Superior, you'll need the inland, but if it's a tributary for the Great Lake, well, sorry, Michigan or Green Bay, you'll need a Great Lakes.
Okay, well, that's not confusing.
Off or like us?
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, we're rolling.
The back
Time
shot.
lapse.
Ooh, nice.
This is the rear view.
The review time
Camera.
lapse. That is crazy.
Hunchback of Chequamegon Bay.
Hunchback of Chequamegon Bay. Uh-oh. Almost. Almost. There we go. Oh, no. Oh, we lost him. Keep them out of the net. Sometimes it's worth it. There we go. Oh!
He gone.
Oh!
Shouldn't have flipped it.
Shouldn't have flipped it. No! Oh, no!
Emotional damage. If you're a live scope hater, you might hate this.
Yes, because this is live scope heavy. This is gonna be a live scope heavy episode. Whoa! He's just crapping all over my boat. Well, hey, what's going on, guys? I wanted to talk a little bit about the Fortis series. Ow!
That's a walleye.
Oh, it is.
Is it really?
It's a walleye. No way.
No, dude! That
You
thing
lost
was
it?
huge!
That was a big fish,
That
man.
thing was like freaking huge. What?
Well, guys, I had a great idea to cook some hot dogs on the Coleman stove. And when I opened it up, my adapter for my gas slipped out and fell down the hole. And I watched it fall all the way down to the bottom on my Vexilar. So it looks like I'm going to be roasting hot dogs on my clam heater tonight. So we'll cook them one by one, and they'll taste just as good. It's just going to take me a little longer.
Ah, one of them days where the video comes easy. Isn't that nice?